What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have some very interesting news, unfortunate news, and interesting news, both all in one. As undefeated, lightweight, junior welterweight, Mexican superstar title contender, King Ryan Garcia, 23 wins, no loss, no draw, 19 wins by way of knockout, 23 years of age, 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach, has two interesting things taking place. One is that Ryan Garcia, without accomplishing much or anything within the sport of boxing, outside of building his social media platform and his brand outside of the sport of boxing, Ryan Garcia has been endorsed by three of the biggest brands in all of sports. Ryan Garcia has now been endorsed by the NFL, National Football League, endorsed by the NBA, National Basketball Association, and he's also endorsed by Gatorade. Ryan Garcia has never fought for a world title, nor has he obviously won a world title. He's 23 years of age. He has 23 fights. He has two recognizable names on his record. And one guy, a former world champion, in Javier Fortuna. And the other guy, Olympic gold medalist, lightweight British star title contender, Luke Campbell. In which he was floored by Luke Campbell. He got up, he faced adversity. He weathered the storm, and he stopped Luke Campbell in the 7th round. So I give him credit for that. But you have two of the biggest brands endorsing Ryan Garcia, and in his respective sport, he's done nothing. So it's a clear-cut indication that it's not what you do, it's who you know, okay? So it's how you build up your social media brand and who you know, the professional athletes he knows. And he's been endorsed. NFL is the biggest of the four major sports in the United States. Then would be MLB, Major League Baseball. Then would be the NBA. And so he has two of the top three biggest sports, major sports in the United States endorsing him, with arguably, not even arguably, with the biggest sports nutrition brands in Gatorade endorsing Ryan Garcia. And again, it's not based off of what he's done. It's based off of who he knows. So with that said, Ryan Garcia, because he's built up his social media, 9 million social media followers, a lot part and do with looks, not Olympian, not Olympic gold medalist, not Olympic silver medalist, not Olympic bronze medalist, but yet he's endorsed. Then you have fighters that are in his own sport that have done way more than Ryan Garcia has done, and they don't get nowhere near the recognition. Now, on top of that, Ryan Garcia has been calling out a lot of fighters, and none of these fights coming and materializing. Not one. He's been calling out some of the biggest names in the sport of boxing, and none of them have materialized. He even made up a story of how he was on the verge of fighting legendary 8 division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer, Manny Pacquiao, which we know that not to be true. Okay, so Ryan Garcia had to be warned by Manny Pacquiao's team to stop making up stories about them. Then he backed off. Then he's essentially made a living calling out undefeated 3 division world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Davis, who's 27 wins, no losses, no draw, 25 big wins by way of knockout, 27 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. He's made a living calling out Gervonta Davis, and well, that fight has never materialized. And not only has it not materialized, but now, on top of it, Ryan Garcia, his last fight with Javier Fortuna, in which he pulled out that fight, you know, the first time was scheduled to take place July last year. Then Ryan Garcia was scheduled to face Javier Fortuna this year, in which he finally got, you know, the fight to materialize. But after the fight with Javier Fortuna this year, Ryan Garcia, he stated that he wanted to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. That was his #1 objective, right? He put himself in position to be the mandatory challenger for now undefeated, undisputed lightweight world champion, superstar boxer Devin the Dream Haney, who has 28 wins, no losses, no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout. He's 23 years of age, came up in the amateur system with Ryan Garcia, 5'9" with a 72-inch arm reach. Okay, Devin Haney has become undisputed, yet Ryan Garcia gets more credibility and acknowledgement than Devin Haney, clearly. As we see now that Ryan Garcia is endorsed by some of the biggest sporting networks in boxing, in all the sports, excuse me, not in boxing, in all the sports. And so with that said, it's called, after his fight with Javier Fortuna, he called out Gervonta Tank Davis again, said, you know, told the world how he wanted to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, and that was his #1 objective. He became the mandatory for Devin Haney, said that if he couldn't get the Tank Davis fight, he wanted to fight Devin Haney. Then that turned into Ryan Garcia not acknowledging Devin Haney, saying that he was boring. So he didn't do anything within the sport of boxing. Okay? And now he wants to fight Tank Davis. But now it looks like it may not be Ryan Garcia's fault that the Tank Davis fight don't materialize, right? It looks like it could be Gervonta Tank Davis's team. As Ryan Garcia's promoter, Olympic gold medalist, 6th division world champion, Mexican superstar, Hall of Fame, iconic boxer, turned promoter and founder of Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar the Golden Boy De La Hoya. He recently made a statement, and it looked like Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis on the verge of fighting in December. Well, Oscar De La Hoya, he stated that he still has yet to hear from anybody on the side of Gervonta Tank Davis to be able to negotiate and get a deal done to stage the fight. So Oscar De La Hoya said that they're still nowhere near close to getting a deal done, and there's big fights to be made. And Oscar De La Hoya, as usual, states that, you know, and places the blame on Al Heyman. He said that Al Heyman is not looking to make the fight happen. He said that it's sad, you know, they wanted to make out Jamal Charlo, Jaime Munguia. Al Heyman is not interested in making that fight happen, according to Oscar De La Hoya. But it goes back to what I told you guys, is that Oscar De La Hoya is obligated, and he has an obligation to the zone, okay? And Oscar De La Hoya just doesn't have Ryan Garcia and Jaime Munguia. He has Virgil Ortiz Jr., he has other fighters. He has a stable of other fighters, may not be as big of names as Jaime Munguia and Ryan Garcia, but he has other big names on his in his stable under his banner, and he can't strain that relationship with the zone, because if he strains that relationship with the zone, he won't have a network and a platform in which he can stage his other fighters on. You understand? So Oscar De La Hoya is not attempting to strain that relationship with the zone, so the zone has to be included. But the problem is, Showtime is the A side all the way around. They are the A side when it comes to Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis, and they also are the A side when it comes to Jaime Munguia and Jamal Charlo. And so because of that, they have no interest in allowing the zone to be involved in the promotion and be able to reap some of the benefits of staging these big fights. Steven Espinosa, Showtime president of sports, you know, he stated that Gervonta Tank Davis has an exclusive deal with Showtime. He, you know, has a close relationship with the situation with Jamal Charlo. The Jamal Charlo fight was all but agreed upon, but it fell through because why? Steven Espinosa said that the zone wanted to be involved. The zone doesn't own any rights to Jamal Charlo or Ryan Garcia. They're not obligated to fight and represent the zone. And so he don't want the zone to be involved. He don't see the need to be able to split the profits with the zone when these fighters don't have obligations to the zone. The problem is they do have an obligation to the zone. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's the platform in which their network and their promotional company showcases their fights. So it's similar to the PBC, Premier Boxing Champion fighters, founder advisor Al Heyman and their fighters. They all may not have an obligation to fight on Showtime, but they have a relationship with Showtime and Fox. So they mix and match, period. And it's the same situation. And Steven Espinosa does not want to allow these fighters to be able to, go back to the zone, essentially. It's how I look at it. And what I mean by that is that it clearly is a personal thing between Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. And Showtime and Steven Espinosa and the PBC. And so I told you guys it may not happen because the zone needs to be involved, period. There's no way the zone going to stage fights with Jaime Munguia, and his fights, his low-level fights, and then his biggest fight, his career against Jamal Charlo. They're not involved. They're not going to showcase Ryan Garcia against Emmanuel Tagle and Javier Fortuna. And then in the biggest fight of his career against Gervonta Davis, they're not going to be involved. It's just not going to happen. And Oscar De La Hoya is not going to allow it to happen, period. So we are in the middle of September now, September 11th to be exact, heading into the middle of September. And the fight is looking to be staged in December, and there's no movement. So, again, the sport of boxing is the Wild Wild West. You have massive promotional you have massive 4 major sports, NFL, NBA endorsing Ryan Garcia, Gatorade endorsing Ryan Garcia. Now and this is no knock on Ryan Garcia, it's his team, right? His team, is able to get him the deals that he deserves. You deserve what you negotiate. You negotiate what you deserve. You understand? It's not what you're worth, it's what you negotiate. And Ryan Garcia is able to maneuver correctly, period. Period. And now you have a situation where Gervonta Davis, he made a statement, and now that statement is looking more and more interesting to me. And I'm going to do a live stream. We're going to talk about this later. But Gervonta Davis, he made the statement when he said, this fight should be easy to be made if everybody does what they're supposed to do. And then he said, tell homie to stop talking like he make decisions for me. Clearly he's talking to Floyd Mayweather. So it don't look like it's going to happen, people. But it do look like we're going to get Gervonta Davis versus Isaac Cruz too in December. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. Again, it's not about what you do in your respective sport. It's about who you know. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.